All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome. I'm excited. You can't hold us. And welcome to the 100 Cognitive Codex questions conversation. It's good to see everybody, and for those of you on YouTube, good to see you, and for those of you watching the recording and watching who have purchased this program, welcome. Great to have you here. My name is Sean Murphy, and I help high achievers. My mission is to guide high achievers like you in breaking through barriers and rewiring your limiting beliefs. When people ask me what I do, I say I help people have more of what they want and less of what they don't. And that really requires you to unlock your full potential that's already inside you. That's the thing you know. That's why you get frustrated. See, we logically put our goals in place. We emotionally get frustrated because we don't achieve them. We don't logically say, well, I didn't do the work and I didn't learn the skill and I didn't. Could you imagine if you logically justified why you didn't hit your weight goal or why you didn't hit your relationship goal or why you didn't hit your finance goal? There's a logical reason. The challenge is we set goals logically and then we beat ourselves up emotionally. I help you switch that. We're here to do a kind of a deep work that most people will never, ever touch. And these 100 questions do that. I'm going to introduce you to the Cognitive Codex. It's a system I designed to help you uncover subconsciously these subconscious patterns that you say, oh, I knew better, right? You ever say, I knew better? These are subconscious patterns, beliefs, and habits that have shaped your journey thus far. These 100 questions are not just an exercise. They are truly a map. And they're a map you haven't yet fully explored. I know this because when people take these questions, go through these questions, they answer them at a very surface level, like a street sign level, versus digging in and actually building the foundation to the road to their future success. After decades of coaching and mentoring, and one truth kept showing up again and again and again. Most of us are held back by the things we don't even realize we believe. It's called a scotoma. It's called a blind spot. And this Cognitive Codex helps you to bring those hidden beliefs. Now, the challenge is when you start diving into these questions, you might not like me. Better yet, you might not like you. So I've created these to help you uncover those hidden beliefs, to light yourself a new path so that you can rewrite the story you've been telling yourself. See, there's a better version of you, and you know it. It's what you call your goals and your dreams and your wants. These 100 questions are more than just a few words on a page. They're keys. Every question is a key, each one designed to unlock a specific part of your potential by asking you to dig deeper, reflect harder, and connect with yourself in a way that few people ever do. It's called self-introspection. Most people, listen, here's how I know your introspection is lopsided. You do introspection, you haven't done facilitated self-introspection. You know about you, because if I were to ask you, what's easier, write down 20 things you don't like about yourself or 20 things you like about yourself? You'd write down 20 things you don't like about yourself in a heartbeat. See, I want to challenge you to look at your strengths, your patterns, and yes, even the beliefs that might have been holding you back. Nobody really wants to bump up against that cage where the 800-pound gorilla is, because we're afraid it's going to rip us apart. What happens when you take the next time to answer them? What happens when you take time away from your busy schedule, time away from your scrolling to answer these questions? You start to uncover this personal codex, this unique blueprint. It's called a psychological blueprint. See, if you were going to go build a house, you would have a blueprint. You may not know how to read a blueprint, but if you handed it to who? If you handed it to who? A builder, an electrician? Does an electrician look on the blueprint for something different than the tile guy? You know what I'm saying? The challenge is most people don't have a psychological blueprint. We have these Sticky notes in different places that we put up goals and wants and wishes and wonders, and we wonder why we never get anything. I want you to truly understand that this is designed to help you uncover your codex. It's a unique blueprint that's only designed by you, for you, because of you. And today you're going to find out what you're capable of. You're seeing exactly where you can focus your energy and achieve the breakthroughs that you've been chasing. Now, this program is broken up 100 questions, broken up into 10 key sections. It's not just for structure, it's for your brain. By dividing these questions into focused areas, we activate different parts of your mind. See, if I were to ask you, think of your vacation, think of your boss, think of your spouse, see, different parts of your brain activate. You can almost feel it in your body. You know what I'm saying? That's called neuroencoding. These 10 sections, 100 questions, are truly designed to give you a key to unlock certain areas of your brain. And you may not even know which areas they are. I do, as a neuroencoding specialist, as a brain trained specialist by the Amen Institute, as a mental toughness coach, as a mental toughness train the trainer, as addiction to approval coach, as a life coach, whatever the hell that is, as somebody who helps people have more of what they want and less of what they don't. I have all of these certifications. I'm a hypnotherapist, although I don't know much about hypnotherapy. I'm a publicly trained speaker, although I don't think I speak so well. What I'm saying that is each one of these areas is divided into focused areas to activate different parts of your mind, to tackle specific aspects of your life, your mindset, your strengths, your relationships, your financial benefits, and more. So this, I don't know, it's going to be a big word. What's segmentation? These areas, for those of you that don't know what the heck segmentation is, these little breakdowns, these little areas allow your brain to process deeper and deeper and deeper into that particular area without feeling overwhelmed. It's why they're kind of bite-sized, right? It also helps you to see the patterns that might be hidden underneath some old stories. And by addressing each one of these areas one at a time, we kind of complete this picture. We put the puzzle together, right? You have a 100-piece puzzle that we're going to put together. That's going to be your cognitive codex. And then you can go back and visit it and revisit it. I encourage my students to revisit these questions once a quarter. 100 questions once a quarter. You want me to answer 400 questions? Let me ask you, how's your success been going so far? Ooh, snap. My mentor used to say things like that to me, and I'd go, you're just a beep. And he goes, listen, I promised you one of us would always have fun whenever we talk. Sometimes both of us. So here's the science behind it. When you work through these questions, you're actually rewiring your brain. You're creating what's called neuroplasticity. You're creating new neural networks, which is why you want to do them in sections, because if you sat down to do 100, you could turn into a puddle. Literally, you could turn into a puddle. Your brain would just go whoop, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and shut down. That's why I broke them up into 10 particular areas. And I gave you suggestions in the workbook of how to best answer those questions. I didn't tell you how to answer the questions before you read them. Now, you may have, I wouldn't call it cheating, advanced your play where you went and read them. Oh, let me go see how to answer these questions before I go answer the questions. That's okay. You went to the key, the answer key before you went to the question. It's okay. I can promise you won't do that the second time you answer the questions, because you'll understand the power of looking at them first and then understanding them. Does that make sense? So you're interrupting old patterns, which your old pattern is designed to do what? Protect you, keep you safe. These are limiting beliefs that have gotten you here that you're about to go change. You're saying, I want more. I need to do more. I need to have more. And your old story is going, I have no evidence of that. So it's in the way that we word our desires, our wants, our wishes, our affirmations, so that we can actually, Noah St. John calls them afformations. I actually created a new word in the dictionary. Instead of affirmations or afformations, you can check that out. I teach a lot of what Noah teaches. So you're training your mind to think in new ways. How many of us have walked into a room and forgot why we walked in there. That seems to happen a little bit more as we mature, dare I say. You're walking into a room called your success, and there's nothing there. At this level that we're playing at, if you decided that you were going to purchase the 100 cognitive questions, the cognitive codex questions, you purchase this program, you're walking into a room you've never been before, I promise you. And if you walk into a room that's not there, you're going to have to turn on the light. And the light is to become aware of the things you're good at. You're going to have to understand that a lot of these stories that have been default, hedonistic, these stories that are responsible for your growth and who you are and what you are and how you are, more often than not, if I asked you, where did that come from? When did you adopt that belief? When did you birth that belief? You'll say, well, I didn't. It was my ex or my boyfriend or my third grade teacher. Your brain is capable of extraordinary growth when you give it the right tools. And this codex is exactly that. So this session is about starting that journey together. As we go through these questions and discuss the breakthroughs, waiting on the others to see how far is the breakthrough you want. You can write this down. It's as close as your skin. It really is. I want to approach this with curiosity and openness. And there's no right way. There's no wrong way to answer these questions. It's a beginning. It's a starting point. You're beginning to build your own psychological blueprint. I can promise you, we're getting ready to build a house here on the ranch. And we have this gentleman who will build our blueprints. It's hard for me to keep saying blueprint, just to build the blueprints. But he'll give us unlimited rewrites. That's what I want to offer you. You start off and go, oh, wow, okay, that doesn't go there. Or that, I don't even know why would you put a window over there? Why would you put a belief about Cub Scouts over here? Why would you put a belief about income over here? Why would you put a belief about legacy over here? You can literally say, I want to write the new blueprint. Some of you aren't old enough to remember Etch-a-Sketches. If you're old enough to remember Etch-a-Sketches, drop an E in the chat. And for those of you that don't, it was the red thing with the gray screen and the two little white knobs, and you would build steps. Everybody would build steps, and then when you got done, you go, and you had a fresh page. Every answer you give brings you closer to unlocking your next level. So, as we get started, welcome. It's time for you to uncover your cognitive codex and to explore this blueprint of your mind, to rewrite the beliefs that no longer serve you. That's all we're doing. Listen, it's not that you got to go learn something new. A lot of us, I'm going to go way out on a limb. Bouncy, way out on a limb and say about 90% of your success is undoing what's been done to you. Seriously. The numbers are scary. So are you ready to dive in? Jim Rohn used to say, if you're ready, say I'm ready. So if you're ready, let's get going. Good evening, everybody. Howdy.
Good evening.
Good evening.
You needed a response. I needed to give it to you. I have a spaghetti brain, but here. Ready. I'm ready.
So, y'all have had a little chance to peruse the questions. What's the first thing that hits you? What's the thing that kind of gives you a little knock around the gym a little bit? What are you feeling when you read these questions, when you saw them? What's something that jumps out at you? Anybody have a question that just absolutely floored them and you got excited to answer? Or you said, I ain't never touching that thing. That thing's a bomb.
Well, in section 1, it says
right at the beginning, section 1, question 1. I'm done.
success in my life. And so I wrote a whole bunch of stuff here. And then, I was grateful for all the things I have, but it's still not where I thought I'd be. Mm-hmm. And I realized, that That's my comfort zone.
So ouchie, ouchie. So how do we get out of this comfort zone that's been really a pain zone we become comfortable in?
Well, I went back and wrote out the goals that I wanted to do and my routines every day. And to make sure I get those routine things in the morning done early and then take deliberate action. And I have a daily and a weekly action sheet that I'm going to be using.
Okay.
And working on my self-development and accountability group, which is you guys and my company too. We're doing different things. So I have accountabilities in both groups.
So what's new?
I think what it is, it's the accountability.
Okay. And what makes accountability new? You're an amazing mom. You're a pediatric nurse, trauma nurse for 732 years. You've got this experience. So you know what accountability is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You're a great mom. You're a great grandmother, not a great grandmother. You're an amazing grandmother, right?
Yeah.
So you know accountability. You understand the accountability to the title as a nurse. You understand the accountability as a pediatric nurse. You understand the accountability as a trauma nurse. You understand the accountability as a sister. You understand the accountability as a spouse, as a mom, and a grandmother. So is it really the accountability? How about it's about you taking care of you?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm taking care of me.
Yes. Yes.
So now if it's so instead of accountability, right, I'm taking care of me. Now tell me where that feels.
You know what? It's like right here.
Yeah, because that's your voice, right? That's your throat chakra. That's your words of authenticity. When's the last time you took care of you for more than a day? Yeah. Now you're gonna make me cry.
Well, it was busy Christmas.
Right?
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Okay, so don't work on it, start it.
Yeah.
So doing all of those things that you have listed, doing all of those lists does what? Don't say accountability. I'll come right through the screen.
Well, it gives me that focus.
It allows me to take care of me.
Yes, it allows me to take care of me.
Yeah. Okay, say it without looking off into the distance.
It allows me to take care of me.
Right. So look at it again. So read something on the list. Out loud.
Well, the self-development will.
Okay, so allows me to take care of me. I want you to read any line item you have out loud and then say, this allows me to take care of me.
Get things done early each morning and take deliberate action because it takes care of me.
See, you still put it off of them. This allows me to take care of me.
This allows me to take care of me. Daily and weekly action sheets. This allows me to take care of me.
Keep going.
Well, the self-development allows me to take care of me. And the accountability group allows me to take care of me.
Are you worthy of being taken care of?
Yes.
Are you worthy of being taken care of by this great human being called Diane?
Yes.
What if Diane put all of her skills, all of her talents that she's done and given to everybody else and focused them on you, lasered them into you to take care of you? Everything that you've been able to do, all of the caring, the giving, everything else that you've done for everybody over the last 3 decades. What if you allowed that karma to come back to you right now and took care of you? What would change?
Everything would change.
And so what's the first thing that would change? What would it change or transform?
Transform
Okay. So if it transforms, what does it transform into?
into me doing what I want to do towards my success.
Okay. And so what's the skill or talent you need for that transformation?
To love myself.
So what if you did away with all of those lists and you just said, I'm going to spend every moment, whatever I'm about to go do. I have a schedule, I've got a calendar, but I'm going to love myself so I can take care of me. Now say that out loud.
I'm going to love myself so I can take care of me.
Say it again.
I'm going to love myself so I can take care of me.
Might it be one of the first times you do that?
Well, I've said it, but I haven't said it. You know what I mean?
So say it again. Say it till you say it.
Okay.
We're going to listen. You're going to say it until you know you've said it. This is going to be emotional. And if you break down crying, yay, team, go team. But you got to say it. I'm going to love me so I can take care of me. I want you to feel it in your bones.
Take care of me.
Say it again.
I'm going to love me until I can take care of me.
Say it again.
I'm going to love me until I can take care of me.
And this is a non-negotiable, Diane. I'm going to love me so I can take care of me. And it might be the first time I've ever actually said it out loud. Say it again.
I'm going to
love me to take care of me. Just say it.
I'm going to love me to take care of me.
Reach your arms out wide. Say, I'm going to love me to take care of me.
To take care of me.
Reach out and grab a little love and stack it on your heart.
I'm going to
take it another one. I'm going to love me to take care of me. Feel it. Close your eyes. Feel it. I'm going to love me to take care of me.
I'm going to love me to take care of me.
Feel that in your heart chakra.
I feel it. It's moving down. It's
yes.
Moving.
Yeah. I'm going to love. Say it. No. See, that's you logically putting this crap out in the world again. Stop it. I love you. I'm going to love me to take care of me. You don't have to use logic. You are smart enough and logical enough. Now we're going to get emotional.
I'm going to love me to take care of me.
See, as a nurse, you couldn't get emotional because you had to take care of the babies. You had to be the strong one all the time. When stuff hit the fan, you had to be the strong one all the time. I'm going to allow you, I'm going to offer your brain, I'm going to offer your story a place to have love and strength that you'll be the strongest you've ever been.
I'm ready.
Say, I'm stepping into my strongest version.
I'm stepping into my strongest version.
And I love that.
And I love that.
Because I'm going to take care of me.
Because I'm going to take care of me.
Put your hands on your heart. I'm going to take care of me.
I'm going to take care of me.
And I'll be able to serve many more.
And I'll be able to serve many more.
That feels better too, doesn't it? Because it was getting a little, this is all about me. I want to be. No, when you love you, Diane, when you take care of you, your words hit differently. Your thoughts hit differently. Your impact is now global because you can have a thought and change the world. So you have all these lists, but anytime you make a list, ask yourself, does this let me love me so I can take care of me? And if it doesn't, Audi 5000. So you have a filter.
I got stuck with that goal or process focused.
Yep. And you were what?
I was in process, yes.
So what if the goal was to be in love with yourself? Honestly, I love you. I don't know that you know what that is. At the level that you need it to be, that the level that you want it to be. You haven't loved yourself in quite some time.
Yes, that's true.
So Diane, remember Dickens' process?
Yes, I know. I just felt it.
I know. That's why it popped into my head. I'm like, oh God, she's going down Dickens' process. I got to go get her. Come back.
Yeah.
Imagine what would it be like another year if you don't love you?
It'll be the same thing.
5 years of not loving you.
Right.
Yeah, right. Oh, don't do this to me. I'm gonna kick you in the shin when I see you. You got to work your way down that and say, whenever you go, okay, but I you're gonna go back into process, but I have to get organized. Will it allow you to love you, or are you just going to check a box?
No, I'm gonna love me.
Yeah. And so get little stickers and give yourself little stars. I don't care what it is. Go get dry erase markers and write on your window, "I love me," and watch your hubby come home and go, "What the heck is that? Who vandalized our house?" Would you learn? Would you like?
Lipstick in the mirror.
And to think,
I can
I
feel-
need to get more organized. I don't know anybody who's more organized than you. I don't know anybody who had to be more organized. You love children. Who does pediatrics? That's heart-wrenching. That can be joy. That is ends of spectrum world. There's no in between. And you had to put on this strength, this face, you had to show up as this rock for people. Well, let us be your rock. Come sit on us. Come cry with us. Come laugh with us. Just enjoy yourself.
Thank you. I'm ready.
You're welcome. What feels different?
Well, my whole body's lighter.
Right? Because we got out of process.
Yeah.
Process. Listen, I don't know. You don't need to learn how to love people. You bring this little beautiful bouncing grandbaby onto the call, and she's just, whatever she calls you, Nana, Granny, Mima, Biba, whatever. Grandma. And she loves her grandma. And
she was excited because she knew your name.
Oh.
She goes, "Sean," and she's telling her little cousin, "That's Sean."
Oh my gosh. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, of all of the awards I've ever won, that's in the top 5. To have that, and when I talk about, I'm going to cry, to leave a legacy, 600 generations. I love it when God goes, "Let me give you a little wink, let you know, keep going." Thank you for that, Diane.
Thank you.
What'd you all learn from that before we go on to the next question? Because Ruth, I know she had her hand up, but what did you all learn from that interaction? Because this is how you're going to build the mastermind. This is how you're going to build your mastermind, is you have to be looking for the clues that others are doing, because you probably have a similar scenario. So what'd you learn from that dialogue?
Are you asking us?
Yes.
Are you asking us, or are you asking
Yes.
me?
I'm asking
So
you.
I wanted to show Diane. I have this on my, I don't know if you can see it, darn. Let me see. Okay, let me tell you what it says. It says, "I am worthy, I am amazing, and I am loved." So this is on my screen. I scotch taped it so I can remind myself that I'm worthy, I'm amazing, and I'm loved. So it's something that we all have to do. It's not, and we don't do it enough. So I just want to share that with you. So thank you for the lessons. Appreciate it.
I love it. Who else would you learn from that dialogue? And then we'll go to Ruth. She had her hand up.
Something that I noticed, and I was watching Diane, I was watching you, is that as soon as you stopped looking away, moving away, and got in your own face, that's when things changed. Your voice changed. I actually closed my eyes to hear it. It was really great. And it made me think, you know what? You just look at yourself in the mirror, Louise. You don't look at yourself in the mirror. And anyway, thank you for that, Diane. Thank you so much.
Cool. One more, and then we'll go to Ruth or anyone else who's got a question. What's one more takeaway you had from that dialogue?
It was just interesting to see how many times she looked away until you broke through it, and she was like, "Okay, I'm doing this." So proud of you, Dan.
And so the reason these shares are so powerful, because if you're in a business where you're going to build customers, build a team, to build a community, you're going to be aggravating and agitating people. Even worse, you guys are all on the team. Can you imagine trying to get somebody into the team? Imagine if you were, which many of you have experienced, it's your first or second call in the Daily Awakening or in it with me, and you're like, holy mackerel, he just beats the living crap out of people. No, I beat the crap that's not serving you out of people. I don't beat you up. I just go chip away all of the stuff that ain't you. Love it, love it, love it. So, Ruth, go ahead with your question or comment or.
Okay, so it's a comment. Last night when I watched the video, I thought to myself, oh crap, I have 100 questions to do tomorrow. So I wasn't so happy. But then when I sat down to start doing them, and I did not finish them, but as I'm doing them, I realized, oh my goodness, I'm so grateful that Sean is asking me this because I don't take the time to sit down and ask myself these questions. And so then it became very humbling because I'm like, oh my goodness. And then it brought tears to my eyes. And I was just like,
Aww.
oh, I need to ask myself these things because I don't take the time. And the fact that, we're writing these down and then we go revisit them. I know you had said quarterly, but I know you had mentioned before, even monthly possibly, to just challenge myself to look at that. So I feel like it's an opportunity to put things on the table for me that I would not have even looked. There's no way. Almost every single one, I'm like, I don't think I would have asked myself that one. Each one, I was like, no, I don't think I would have asked myself that one either. So I'm really grateful that I have them. I'm not so grateful about the homework, but I got to get used to that.
Well, so here's the thing. So here's what I heard when you said I wouldn't have asked myself that.
Yeah.
Think about this. So let's you and me become the reporter of Ruth. So you and I, we got our reporter hats on. We got our little press card up here, and you and I are talking, and we're watching Ruth do these questions. You with me?
Yeah.
You here next to me? Okay. And I lean over to you and go, do you hear what she's asking? And you go, yeah, it's kind of interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The one who's saying she wouldn't ask herself that question, right? You're already two people.
Yeah.
I wouldn't ask myself, who's the I that's asking and who's the myself that's answering?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But hang on. And then it gets even more interesting. The one who's grateful is even a third party.
Yeah.
The one who's grateful, who's doing the work, feels that it has to be an effort in order for you to show up and give.
Mm-hmm.
The one who doesn't want to ask, no, because if I asked that, I'd be busy or I'd have to deal with something or I may transform. And what's the thing we all hear Ruth say? This is a mastermind group. What's the thing we hear Ruth say on a somewhat consistent, but I don't want to work that hard. And look at Ruth. I don't want to work that hard. Don't tell me I don't want to work that. It's okay. Have fun with it. Cross your arms. It's comfortable. The point is that when you answer the question, was it really hard?
No. And that was surprising.
That's the key. That's the one who needs to show up more often.
Mm.
That's the one. That's the archetype that loves to grow.
Mm.
Because the one, right, there's three people already in this conversation, and sometimes people think we're nuts. It's the I would never ask myself. And then when I see it, I go, that's a good question. I want to know the answer. There's actually 4 energies that are involved in it. And so as a Reiki master that you are, as an energy healer that you are, when people have 4 energies that are rolling through their body that are causing disenergy or dis-ease, what would you as a Reiki master do to help consolidate, coagulate, to coordinate all that energy? What would you do?
Yeah, I mean, to harmonize it, right? So it's all in balance. It's all one, not 4 separate things. Driving myself crazy type of thing. Yeah.
So now that you understand, and you do this all the time, again, it's easier to do it for them than it is for us.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you about the splinter in your eye. Well, you got a freaking plank in yours. Yeah, but don't worry about my eye. So what happens now if we take this, I would never ask myself, and yet when I do it, I'm in joy and bliss to answer the question. How would you harmonize that? What would you do to harmonize that? It doesn't have to be verbal. It can just be, what I would do is I would pull each of those 4 energies and just bring them into a white globe or golden globe or blue. What would you do?
No, now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like
Yeah.
I should just let those first two go.
Okay. So if you let them go, where do they go? So they don't.
So they don't have a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
don't
what
want
would you say to a patient that you're working with?
Well, I would tell them to focus on the stuff that serves them, not the stuff that doesn't serve them.
Okay. So since that's been their pattern for so long, what could you do? What would you suggest for them to recognize the things that serve us might be small in size, might be a new leaf of an energy, a new sprig of a sprout? How would you tell them that it's okay to grow that?
Hmm.
Because you're helping them have a new energy, because the other two were taking up space and now there's this void. Set you as the master, the Reiki, the energy master can say, is it okay if we remove that? And you can literally pull it out and shove it into the universe and let it go off on its way. And they're sitting there now with this gap. What do they fill that gap with?
I want to say love.
So what's something you love that you could put into that gap, verbal or nonverbal? When you have the answer, say, I have it.
I have it.
Feel the shift?
Yeah.
This is you loving you too, isn't it?
Yeah. Self-love.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
I can promise you, what's the thing I say all the time? Are you ready for the love?
Yeah.
There's nothing more, lady. I wish I could be as sophisticated and brilliant enough to say there's something more than that. There's nothing more than, are you ready for the love? Period. Full stop. Send the torpedoes. So what's shifting in your body? And I feel some shifts and some awarenesses in your body.
I just feel I can breathe better. I feel lighter. Um,
So let me ask you, is there anybody you're about to go talk to wants to feel heavier?
no.
No. So what Kyle Wilson told me, he says the best person you could help is the person you just were. How many of you can go help somebody listen, how many of you have ever had that massage that you didn't know you were that sore? How many of you have ever had an awareness that you didn't know that you were beating yourself up that bad? I just went through it just the other night because people want to know you're in that spirit. People look at me all the time and they go, you can't be. I'm working on a project right now that's going to freak people out. That's all I'm going to say about it. But it is literally going to freak people out because I feel that I don't want to say that I'm not in touch with a particular market segment. And I really am. What I'm realizing is that I'm more in touch with it than I realized. I just got to get out of my own way. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be an interesting reveal, I think.
Can't wait.
Yeah. So, what'd you learn? What'd you like?
Like the questions, and I'm excited to continue the answers. And I'm intrigued to see what will happen by the end of the 100th question, how my mind has changed, I guess.
And imagine it. And again, you'll read books and not remember what you read, but when you do questions, your mind is instantly looking for the answer. And if you don't have the answer, we have to give it space and say, well, I'm curious about that. Because the answers are in the Codex. The answers are in the Akashic records. The answers are in the universe. The answers are in God's wink to you. Ooh, I never would have asked myself that. But the one answering it is like, I love these questions. I've been waiting for these for a millennia. I love the paradox we take root through. Oh, ooh, ha, ha, ooh, ha, ooh, ha. But where's the list? No list. This is just energy. Oh yeah, but again, I love you. I so love you.
And I love you for loving me. I appreciate it.
Who else? So what's your takeaway from that dialogue? And again, this is where you get to master watching people as they say things and move and do things and all of that stuff. What's your takeaways from that dialogue?
You're not asking me, you're asking them.
No, I'm asking them.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's going deeper.
Yeah.
Going deeper is what I got. Yeah.
And so, Diane, understanding deeper, are we really going deeper? Or are we just really scratching a different surface?
Okay, well, scratching a difference.
Right? I mean, because if we wanted to go deeper, you both would be bundling just piles in the corner and,
yeah.
I don't want to be here. And that'd be okay.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But this
But
isn't the
no,
place for that.
you brought in the 4 different energies. And I know we have heard that before, but it just resurfaced in my mind.
Well, and Ruth is, and what I love about Ruth is that what I love about all of you is every one of you know the answer. You know your solution. It's just, well, it can't be that easy. Okay. I'll saddle you up and ride you around and go, okay, we're back at the barn. Look, here's the answer. Well, I knew that. Tell me something new. Okay. My goal is I can't teach you anything. I can only remind you of the joys that exist in you. And this harmonizing that Ruth said and loving yourself that Diane said, these are things you answer. I didn't say, well, you should love yourself more. I always ask, are you ready for the love? And when you say yes, life changes instantly. You want to know how good this stuff works? Mason's car popped a water line last Thursday. Well, we've had freezing temperatures here, and so we needed to get it to the car shop today at 1:30. I'm like, it's freezing cold out. We got to get water. The water that's in there, because it's a lot of the antifreeze. Anyway, so it's like, man, this thing is either going to overheat the whole way or so. I don't know. And I'm playing in my head. I'm trying to think of where am I going to stop? Where am I going to pull over to add water so I can, because there's no below. Drove it the whole way and it never got above warm. What? It was going hot when Michelle and I, before we parked it, hot, get out, pour a gallon of water in, hot, pour out. Twice 3 times farther than we ever drove it on Thursday. And it was getting all cattywampus. Drove it like, if somebody else was driving the car, they would have never known there was something wrong. And you want to know what the problem is with the car? The radiator shot. The thing that holds the water was shot. How did the car not overheat? Come on, God. I'm laughing the whole way there going, God, you're just showing off now. You're just showing off. Mason goes, so how many times did you have to stop? Because he came to pick me up. I go, not once. He goes, what? Is there anything wrong with the car? I go, not where it's sitting right now, but they'll find something. I just laughed. I just giggled. I go, ugh, it's so good. It's so good. Who else? Anyone else want to respond to the dialogue, the interaction with Ruth? And then we got time for one more question.
I do, may I?
Yes, please.
When I looked at that 100 questions, and I watched your video last night before I went to bed. And then I watched it this morning and I did my regular getting up at the regular time and kept thinking 100 questions. So I did not read beyond the questions. I was so uptight about getting through 100 questions and getting my DMP put together, finish up, and all of this stuff. And I hadn't written one word. And it was not going to be possible. And then I finally went through the first 10.
Begrudgingly.
Happily. Oh my gosh. It was just the really really bad
Question
attitude.
2, question 3.
And then I read the next page. And it was a Oshitaki. Go back, start over. But all of that nastiness was gone. And it was gone because, well, now you can do it right. Now you can do it so that benefits. Now you can do it in love. Now you can do it in gratitude. Whatever that was, Yahoo, it's gone. And that when you, Ruth, when you were saying about, what you would do with a client, just focus on, I went, oh, duh. Anyway, no, I did not get through it all, but that wasn't the point.
You don't
The
have to
point
get
was,
through it all. Listen, there's sometimes I'll open a book
I
and I
loved
will
it.
get such a thing from page 1. I'm like, that book has served me. I've read that book. That book has served me. I don't have to read the whole book to say I
Right.
read the book. I'm not into reading books. I'm into getting content and nuggets. And the nugget that Wim Hof's book on, I don't even remember the title of the book. The first chapter, I'm done. I can't take any more notes. I can't ask any more questions. I got to go get the answers to these questions. So when we
I
struggle with
appreciated it so much.
Good.
Anyway, that was my experience. I look forward to more.
and it's identity. And so here's the thing: when the shows up, so you're back. You got to say, you're.
Yes.
I thought you were playing hooky today. You're working with me today. I love you. And you watch him go. You said a rada.
Well, I did have a conversation with Megan and Philip. They were kind of happy to be there, and I went, no, oh no, sorry, wrong signal.
Kind of
But
cool.
it was so, I was laughing when you said, and then some of you might have gone, and I went, normally I do, but I didn't. Let's see what everything says, sort of. Not that I read the whole thing, but in this case, did the questions, mainly because they were in bold and I could read them without a magnifying glass. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And then continued and went, oh, let's do this again. And there was no time problem. Got out my compass and said, this is your clock.
So couple of things to pay attention, because this will help you in your coaching. How many times have people hired a coach and they didn't get the, let's do it again till the very end of the program? So when you have a conversation with somebody, or when you're starting to work with somebody, say, do you know how to use this content? That's why I ask, would you learn, would you like? That's my version of, here's a suggested use for this program. And I leave you with the suggested use, and each of you have your own. Well, here's what I learned, and here's what I liked. I promise you, everybody's is going to be different. Or you'll say, well, I wanted that one, and then you'll make up another one because you don't want to be copycat.
Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you. I'm loving this, and it's revealing a lot. It's scratching many surfaces that have never been scratched.
I love it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who else? Question, comment, thought? Hey, Jane, how are you?
Okay.
Jane RX in the house. If you have any issues or any
Well,
questions,
no, it's called RXJ, not
RX
Jane.
Jane.
Yes.
So prescription Jane, if you need a prescription for your success, Jane is your person to go to.
Well, I don't know about that.
I know about it. So keep going, lady. What's next?
Well, I've been a hospital pharmacist for 50 years.
Getting the hang of it?
And I don't know. Going through these questions, all my answers kept going back in my previous life as a pharmacist.
I love it. That's awesome. You got a pattern that is still out there.
Yeah, but how do I break through? I
Okay.
mean, it's not going to help me in network marketing. I mean, it will in a sense, but it's not I was just really, all my answers dealt with, oh, that's because it's pharmacy. I learned that during pharmacy. I
Mhm.
did this during pharmacy.
Okay.
And I want to go forward. Don't want to keep dwelling on the backwards.
Excellent. What's your puppy's name?
Teddy.
Answer the questions as if Teddy would answer them.
Well, I'm not with him right
I
now.
don't. Yeah, answer them as if Teddy was with them. Say, look over and go, Teddy, how would you answer this? And then write down the answer. I promise you, that's how you'll shift, because you're in your pharmaceutical mind. Which, listen, you have, like Diane. You and Diane should have a conversation. You understand procedures and policies and filling out charts and making sure people get the right dosage. Could you imagine the difference between 1 milliliter and one? I don't know what the hell the other thing is. 1 liter. You need to get a liter of this drug or a milliliter of this drug. It's a big difference if you're going to do a dosage. So my point is, Jane, is how would Teddy answer it?
He'd give me kisses.
Well, then, and so say, okay, it's to go out and lick people's faces. The key is to get the laughter back in. That's why you want Teddy to help you answer it.
Yes, I need him back with me. Yes.
Yep. So that's how you shift it. Because you got, listen, it's me one day old with you versus you 365 times 50, 3 times 50 is like 15,000 days. That's get my ass kicked.
Mm-hmm.
But if I put Teddy in there, you shove the pharmacy right up your nose and it doesn't matter. You're going to have fun with Teddy. So answer it from Teddy's perspective.
Okay, I'll work on that.
There you go. Look at you. Look at you're already doing it. You didn't say I try. You're like, I try. I'll work on that.
And that is one thing. Even though I answered so many from a pharmacy perspective, I was really, whenever I had, I'll think about it or whatever. I as you asked me to do or suggested for me to do was to think more in the positive.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, I have been working on the positivity but it just.
So hang on, you ready for the next? So the 3 questions, do I have your permission to make you a little uncomfortable?
Always.
Okay. So you know why you answered them in the pharmaceutical way?
Because it just comes out.
It does, but you're afraid of the free version of you.
Oh
crap. Yeah, you're afraid of the one that wants to go and do all of the training for people and the stuff for kids and the people for, that's the part of you is like, significance and certainty. You were certain how to answer those questions. And
right. And I enjoy when people ask me to consult with them.
Yeah, that's significance. So you got certainty and significance, which is now when you're hearing everybody else going, why can't I answer them like that? That's pain.
That's what?
That's pain.
Pain.
Significance and certainty, your life will be in pain, period. End of story. Full stop. You have to deal with uncertainty and love and connection. That's why I'm saying put Teddy in the mix. Do you have the questions in front of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so pick a question.
Well,
Just pick a question.
I don't know.
Just pick one question. Just read it. I'm not asking you to answer.
I just have my answers in front of me.
Okay, so here's the question. What motivates you most right now? Answer it for Teddy. Teddy's sitting next to you. Teddy, what motivates you most right now? What's he say?
Getting into our apartment.
There you go. That sounds like you got the same answer. How about what does your current self-talk sound like, Teddy? Positive, negative, or neutral?
Well, I'm catching myself.
Interesting answer, lady. Answer it as Teddy would answer it.
Oh.
Teddy would say positive. He's wagging his tail.
That's true.
Yeah. So wouldn't you listen? Get a little more Teddy in your life. Get a little more. Let Teddy run your day.
Okay.
So let's have some fun with it. I'm gonna ask you. Hey, listen. Can you show up at 2 and say I got to check with Teddy? Hey, Jane, could you show up at 2?
I have to check with Teddy if he's free or not.
Hey, now, don't be afraid to say it. Remove your hand from your face. Everybody saw that. So, hey, Jane, could you show up at 2?
I have to check with Teddy to see if it's okay.
How's that feel?
Good.
Yeah. So what would you, if you were going to move forward from today, would you want to feel better or feel worse?
Obviously better.
All right, everybody on 3. Teddy, 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 Teddy. See the difference?
Yeah.
And this is nothing I have. It's you've always had Teddy.
Yeah, but how do you answer these questions? Well, I guess I wasn't thinking.
You're asking
Teddy's-
how. It's in the state. Do it from state. Do it from Teddy state. Say, Teddy, how are you going to answer this question?
I was just going to ask that
I know
same
you were.
question. Okay.
That's how brilliant you are.
Oh, no, that's brilliant. I just want to grow and I want to do well.
Okay, so don't say I am growing. Say growth and wellness.
Growth and wellness.
Yeah, don't put the I ams in there or I want. Just say what it is that you want. There's growth and wellness in my life. Growth and wellness in my life. And then watch the feeling, because there's not a resistance from the I am. The root chakra, most people say the root chakra, I am. It is the weakest of chakras.
Well, that's why I never liked those gratitudes that you always had to say where it says, I am this, I am that. Mm-hmm. They just didn't seem or feel right when I spoke them.
Well, because you said the right word there. We logically said them, but we didn't emotionally understand them.
I gotcha.
And my goal is we logic the hell out of our goals. We emotional the fear that keeps us from getting it. And when we increase our emotional quotient higher than the fear quotient, game over. Game over. You see Diane, I love it. You see Ruth, just let them go. That's the emotional. You finally falling in love with yourself and you get your EQ higher than your IQ. Listen, I am not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I will poke you, but I have the EQ that'll floor you. Oh my gosh, this happened. Awesome. Isn't that fun? How come you're not mad? Mad? What?
I guess that's one reason I had such a hard time answering the questions in the current situation. Right. And I was doing them all for my previous profession.
Exactly. What you've heard that phrase, don't let schooling get in the way of a good education. Don't let school get in the way of a good education. That's what that's what parents say to their farm children. Don't let your education get in the way of a good, don't let your schooling get in the way of a good education.
Then I need to go back and redo all 100 questions.
Well, need to or want to?
Both. I need to because I did it from.
So you're going to go ask him, or you're going to let Teddy ask him?
Teddy's going to ask him, even
Teddy
though
Teddy hadn't even done them, so it's going to be the first time you're doing them.
I'm sorry?
Teddy hasn't done them, so it'll be the first time you're doing the questions.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm going to go back and do them for the first time.
I gotcha.
Yeah, change the way we look at things, and the things we look at change.
Uh-huh.
Y'all love on Jane, please, because y'all know what she's going through right now. And she is this brilliant brain. You don't spend 50 years in pharmacy and you can rub two sticks together and start a fire. She's a pretty sharp tack. And the way, the ones of you that have been on the other side of this conversation I'm now having with Jane, she can handle it. She's standing there, boat up, ready to take it. I want more. She wants more. And so I'm just taking her through the tiptoe through the tulips with the red velvet hammer and getting her there sooner rather than later. So we love you, Jane. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, 9:00.
Oh, wow.
Just like that. We hit it. Yeah, this is going to be a fun thing. And then after this, the questions again, yes, I'm bombarding you because I want to flood you with enough stuff that allows you to feel a little overwhelmed, but I'm wanting you to find the thing. Oh, I like that. I want you to go, this is the buffet of mastermind. So you go, okay, I'm that is going to get, that's all I'm there. And once you find that particular piece, it could be a question in the 100 questions. It could be the discovery of self. There's a lot going on here, because what I'm doing is expanding the neuroplasticity of your brain bigger, so that when it relapses and comes back and stretches and it comes back a little bit, it will never come back to its original shape. Yes, Ruth.
Just want to clarify, you mentioned.
No, really? Shocking.
What did you said something about doing something on Thursday and Friday? It's not this Thursday and Friday.
No,
it's
next Thursday, Friday.
But then you also do a Saturday thing? That's the next day?
Probably, yes.
So it'll be Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Thursday, Friday there's the challenge, and Saturday is the mastermind conversation. So it has nothing to do with the challenge. I'm still looking to build my list. Part of me reaching my $500,000 in, I think I said $500,000 in my coaching program through the mastermind. That's 100 people at $5,000. But every month it's going to go up a little bit, and there's going to be some rev share for y'all if you invite somebody in. So I need to go build my list. So I'm still going to be doing my challenges that you all are a part of, and you get the recordings to everything. So you're in the all you can eat scenario for the mastermind. So the gaps, these are gaps. They're not mastermind stuff. You can go, listen, I'm not going to that. I'll watch 2 minutes of the recording. So none of those are necessary. But when it's a mastermind, those are the things that will be in the mastermind department, if you will.
So that's the Saturday. So what are the hours? So yeah, could you tell me Thursday and Friday what the hours? Because it's not
Thursday, Friday will be 11 to 90 minutes, 12:30.
12:30 Central Time.
Central Time, yep.
And that's Thursday and Friday. And then
Yep.
Saturday?
Saturday is going to be the 8 a.m.
8 a.m. Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
See
And all
ya.
of this inside of school, there's a calendar there. All of those, I'm going to do my best to keep that all updated.
Thank you.
And that's the only reason I have school is for Ruth and the calendar. Because she wants to harmonize and, ooh, I know where I'm going. I love it. Any last thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways before I let you go for the evening on the cognitive codex of questions? What'd you think of the intro? I did that because this is going to be a product.
I thought it was great. And before I did this, I wrote down 6 things to let go of.
And?
Well, control was number 1.
Oh.
And I wrote, accept the uncertainty. Can't always be in control. And if it's meant to be, it will happen. And then I wrote, how could I be better? And the second one was, the only word I came to was bitterness, but I don't get bitterness, but it's, those things that you hold on to.
Mm-hmm.
And I just said, life is too short to hold on to that stuff. And there was a saying, somebody said, find beauty in ashes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what stuck with me. It's, you don't always, it's not always easy to see it. And you're not going to be a match for everyone. And I know that. And scarcity mindset, and don't be perfect. And I wrote connection, not perfection, and people pleasing. So those are the 6 things that I wrote down to let go of. And I did that before I started this.
And as you've let go of those, who do you become?
Who I'm supposed to be.
A more loving me.
Yes.
Love it.
So thank you.
You're welcome, welcome, welcome. Luis, Puerto Rico.
¿Qué lo que? Me voy a mudar a República Dominicana. Decidí que este podcast lo voy a hacer en español completamente, ya que yo escribí todas mis contestaciones en español, tengo que decirlo en español. No, I'm just kidding. I'll say it in English. Good night, everybody. I have 12 pages of notes. I am on section 4 in the quarterly reflection. 12 pages of notes, question 8. It started with just one. How do you see it? I started with just one line. Now my answers are 1 page. That's why I asked in the WhatsApp group chat if there's like a length that they should have. because I just started like writing it. At one point, I noticed, I don't know if it happened to you guys, I was disoriented. Like all of a sudden, I was like here in my office, and I don't know, I got lost in the paper. And I knew that I was in the zone. I was writing for 2 hours straight without even noticing. It's being very interesting. I won't take too much of you guys' time right now, but once I share all of this, I'm sure I'll be done with the 100 questions. But this is really, really interesting things, and I resonate with what everyone said. They weren't hard to answer, but they definitely kept getting deeper and deeper and longer the answers. So I'm covering some really interesting stuff. Thank you, Sean. I'm really excited for everything. And I'm sure that everyone will be a very different person. How did I feel after finishing the questions? Happy. I felt happy, and the self-love thing. It was funny because I wrote it too. Like it was, everything is just redundant to, bro. You gotta love yourself more. And for me, I'm noticing, for you, for everyone, it's very normal. But this year, I'm leaning into God, because one of my biggest decisions last year, it was on December 29th. I gave my life over to God. So for me, that spiritual life is new. And I'm like now being conscious of like, even when Sean says like, oh God, you're just showing off now. I'm like, oh yeah, he does do those type of things. Like I'm getting to recognize those things. So it's I feel in a lot of gratitude, because there's definitely growth happening, and I see it across everybody. So again, thank you, Sean. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Sounds awesome. Hey, Jane, I see your hands up. Congratulations, Luis. And that'll happen. And you are in the flow. So congratulations. Oh, hang on.
Sorry.
There you go. Say again. Now.
I think I must have missed something, or maybe you've trained and I wasn't here at the time. But I need to go somewhere where I can understand what this DMP is and how it works.
Sure. Well, we'll get to it. The DMP is your definite major purpose. You can Google it.
Yes.
But I also have, I think I have some trainings. I think maybe I put it in there. But your DMP is this, it's money. How much money do you want to make, right? In the next 12 months, or if your birthday is February of next year, on or before my birthday, I want to create $100,000 in income, and we'll do that because of this, and this. So I'll actually, maybe I'll even type up my definite major purpose and let you all have a copy of that, so you can see how I go through all of my 6 pillars: family, finance, body, mind, society, and faith, of what's the thing that I'm going to do to get better, right? I work out every day. I set my goals. I set my targets. And I'm a handsome, youthful 60-year-old going to being happy to celebrate my 125th birthday. We put in these words so that we can start creating, it's a word picture of what we want, of the vibration we want, right? When you started thinking about Teddy, you laughed. Teddy's
Right.
not, you laughed. So it's that kind of thing. Your DMP is your Teddy.
Oh, okay.
And when you get, I want Teddy, and Teddy's here. And if you start playing with Teddy, and imagine if he was in the room there and jumping up on the bed or whatever Teddy does, that's a Teddy thing. Your body changes. So your mind, your subconscious doesn't know whether it's real or fake. It has to accept everything as real. And when you think Teddy, your body changes. Think Teddy. So you're not thinking Teddy now. Think Teddy.
Okay.
Think Teddy. No, there you go. See what happens?
Mm-hmm.
When you think Teddy, you can't, I couldn't make you not smile.
No, that's true.
Right? So, and Teddy's not in the room. This is a thought, and the thought activated, right? Miss RX Jane, the pharmacy, the dopamine that got created. Let's go. You run the thought of the chemical vibration, the chemical analysis of Teddy into your brain, and your body goes, eh? The hell is that? I want a Teddy shot. Somebody give me a Teddy shot. Oh, no, that's a tetanus shot. We get right. And all of a sudden we start to change and we start to move. So your DMP is the equivalent of your Teddy. And when you have this DMP of the new apartment and the training center and the being a consultant for major corporations and doing all of this stuff, whatever it is, you think of this, you think of your DMP and you go, you get your Teddy smile. Does that make sense? I know with $500,000 in coaching program, that's 100 people who are going to experience what you all experience. 100 new people. You know how excited I am to have those people swirl in. You're one of them. I have 99 more to go, Jane. Right? My point is that I didn't know you from Adam. You didn't know me from Adam. Selka said, "Hey, you need to come. You need to come to this man." I know her English.
That's what she said.
Right?
Exactly.
What she said. And you're like, whatever. It's all right, Selka. You say come, I'll do. I'll whatever. I don't want to have to listen to it for 6 months. I'll just show up. And she was right. It worked.
Well, the ironic thing is, yes, she did, because she would push me until I would have said yes or no.
Right. And you're like, let me just get it over with sooner, because if I don't, then I can say I went. Right? I'm that for a lot of people. Oh my God, I've never heard this before. And you know why those people leave? Because they don't want to think about what they've never heard before.
Is that why we leave so many other organizations or other groups I always thought it's just that we didn't connect either. I guess that's still the same thing, isn't it?
The same thing. The challenge is that two things that can happen on connection. You didn't allow it or they didn't allow it. Most people who present, teach, and train don't want to be connected to you. They just want your money. I want to know you. I want to love you. This is a lifetime thing.
Gotcha.
So there you go.
Oh, sorry to keep you all later.
No, don't be so. Just take that back. Say, I take that back.
I take that back.
You all heard about Teddy and you got to laugh. All right, everybody. I love you. Let's go. Everybody put a Teddy smile on. I'll see y'all where?
At
The next event.
At the next event. See y'all in the morning, ladies and gentlemen. Till then, bye for now, Z.
Thanks, Sean. Love you all.
Thank you so much.
Bet. Love y'all.